New OSHA rules causing compliance anxiety? CleanerBlast can help. Toxic dust exposure impacts 90% of workers in the construction field. OSHA mandates that employers implement new practices to cut worker exposure to crystalline silica dust. Respirators can't do the job alone and should be included as backup controls, not the first line of defense to mitigate worker exposure to toxic dust. Old sandblasting equipment wasn't designed for and can't meet new OSHA standards that drastically reduce exposure limits for crystalline silica and beryllium. The new 8-hour permissible exposure level for crystalline silica is just 50 micrograms per cubic meter. That's just half of the previous level set in 1971. Old sandblasting methods require additional controls to limit exposure. Extensive controls and shrouding extend into and impact adjacent work areas. Fans and additional ventilation meant to lower dust concentrations spread dry dust, and wetting activities can't keep up with the huge amounts of dust generated by dry abrasive blasting. The newly enacted OSHA rule for beryllium drastically reduces permissible exposure levels for respirable beryllium to only 0.2 of a microgram. That's 10 times less than previous levels. Beryllium is present in trace amounts in all types of grit, including safe media below the 1,000 ppm limit. However, the high dust concentration inherent to dry abrasive blasting makes even safe media a hazard. For example, coal slag containing only 4 ppm beryllium can exceed limits for airborne concentration during conventional sandblasting because it generates large amounts of airborne dust. In this case, mandated exposure levels were measured in excess of 4 times the permissible amount. If less dust had been generated, a different outcome might have been achieved. The OSHA beryllium standard states that if media beryllium content is below 1,000 ppm and measured exposure levels do not reach 1/10 of a microgram per cubic meter, the standard does not apply. So how do you achieve less dust? Use less grit. CleanerBlast uses up to 90% less grit and generates 91.7% less dust than conventional sandblasting. Less media and less dust means less exposure. CleanerBlast encapsulates dust particles in water vapor to keep air clean. Low-pressure CleanerBlast won't disperse particles, so gravity can work to pull dust-laden water droplets to the workplace floor where it remains contained. Low volumes of spent grit and waste can easily be collected using a wet vac or a blast bag. CleanerBlast saves time. Fuss-free settings make CleanerBlast easy to set up and easy to use. One charge and one hopper load last hours, increasing productivity. Since low-pressure wet abrasive vapor blast doesn't impact adjacent activities, it won't delay work nearby. Super rugged CleanerBlast machines need less repair and maintenance than any other brand, and even work in the rain. Do more with CleanerBlast. Blast clean surfaces, create profiles on metal, and even add surface treatments in one step with one machine. Low-pressure CleanerBlast generates less friction and no heat, so it won't damage delicate surfaces. CleanerBlast works on a wide range of substrates: concrete, metal, wood, asphalt, and more. CleanerBlast gives you greater compliance while achieving comparable or better results.